Hello and welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to talk about, as you can see, The Sheep Detectives. This film released this year, directed by Balda, written by Mazin. Two of the producers of this film are Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Whatever they touch turns to gold. Project Hail Mary, this whole Spider-Verse thing, and now this. Not to forget, they're also probably doing the 24 Jump Street, the next film in the Jump Street series. And I'm not complaining. I like them. So this film is actually based on a novel called Three Bags Full. This film stars Hugh Jackman, Nicholas Braun, Nicholas Galitzine, Molly Gordon, Emma Thompson, with the voices of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Bryan Cranston, Goldstein, Bella Ramsey, Patrick Stewart, Regina Hall, Chris O'Dowd, and many more. So what's the story? So in the fictional town of Denbrook, a shepherd named George Hardy, played by Hugh Jackman, lives with his flock of sheep. And one day he gets murdered, and the sheep investigate his murder. It's basically a mystery comedy film. So how is the film actually? So when the trailer of the film released, I was quite excited. Now the thing about me is that I don't watch trailers much. I watch trailers sometimes but not much. And in this case, I kind of skipped through the trailer and I was like, okay, this is going to be a mystery comedy film. I was quite excited for the film to arrive on OTT, and the film has finally arrived on OTT. You can find it on Amazon Prime. At least in India, it's on Amazon Prime. I don't know about outside India. And the film actually works. And it's not just as a mystery comedy film. Let me delve deeper into that. Now, as I said, the film is about a murder investigation. But the film surprisingly has a lot of heart. Now, let me first start with the mystery part. That is probably the least part of the film. I mean, it says on Wikipedia that it's a mystery comedy, but there's not much mystery here. I mean, if you have seen thriller films before, you can quite easily guess actually who is going to be the killer. Now, the writers have tried to misdirect, and the misdirection is not actually that bad. I mean, if you don't focus on the mystery much, if you don't think about the murder much, you'll probably be misdirected. The suspects of the film are not well established, and that probably would be a bad thing, but it isn't, because the film works because of the comedy and the emotion. Now to the comedy. The comedy part in the film actually works very well. Well written. I laughed, and that's what matters. And except for that, I don't think there's much to say about the comedy, because I mean, it's comedy. What can you say about that? I mean, it made me laugh, and that's it. That's the main point of a comedy, right? Now to talk about the emotion. I did not know a bunch of sheeps, their helplessness would make me cry. I actually cried in the film. I'm not exaggerating. I literally cried. I don't know why. Maybe I was a bit too sensitive, but I cried. Now, as I said, George Hardy had a flock of sheeps, but the film mainly focuses on the few characters. But the main protagonist, you can say, or the main investigator of the whole murder, is a sheep called Lily, voiced by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and she has kind of an assistant, Mopple, voiced by Chris O'Dowd. And then there's another sheep, Sebastian, voiced by Bryan Cranston. The film mainly focuses on these characters, these three, and then there's also a small lamb, Winter Lamb. That character, that lamb, is very very cute. You feel bad for the character. Why do you feel bad? Because of the discrimination he's facing from his own species. The characters of sheep are written quite well, that you can feel for them. You can feel for Lily, you can feel for Sebastian, you can feel for Winter Lamb, you can feel for these characters, you can relate. Even though they are sheep, you can relate to the characters. And when things happen, they make you cry. And amongst humans, there's one character you can relate to actually, who is Tim, Officer Tim, played by Nicholas Braun, the only police officer the town of Denbrook has. And Nicholas Braun played that character really well. And Tim, the character, you can actually relate to the character. He is kind of a fool. Like, he cannot really investigate. Even though he's a police officer, the only officer in the town, he is still not a good investigator. But he tries. And that's the thing that makes him likable. He's not ignorant. When the sheeps try to help him, he takes that help, even though he does not always know that the sheeps are doing it intentionally, because he cannot communicate with the sheeps. In the film, humans cannot communicate with the sheeps, but he still takes the help. And that makes sense, because the sheep cannot catch the criminal alone. When it's not that type of film, it focuses on the animals, yes, but humans are also important. This film made me think about an old Hollywood film, Air Buddies. I used to like that film growing up so much. I watched that film. I just loved that film. I watched it so much. I loved it. And Hollywood used to make that type of films. I mean, Air Buddies had this whole franchise. I think they probably rebooted the character. I'm not sure. I think they rebooted the character, the whole series. And Hollywood used to make that type of films. 2000s, 2010s films where animals used to talk. Films with animals. Nowadays, I don't think they'd make these type of films much. At least I haven't seen. I don't know why Hollywood stopped making these type of films. They used to be actually quite good. Now, what I think is that this film would have been cringier if animals could talk to the humans. I mean, I don't like that type of films where animals talk. I was actually waiting for that to happen in the film, where animals would talk to some character, maybe Nicholas Braun's character Officer Tim. I was waiting for that to happen, but they do not talk. Like, they cannot communicate with the humans with the dialogues, and that's actually a good thing. That works. But as I said before in the video, the main thing that works in the favor of the film is the emotion. The way you can connect to the character of Lily, the way you can feel the discrimination the Winter Lamb is facing. You can also feel for Sebastian. That's what makes you keep watching the film and cry. The direction of the film is not bad, it's well executed. Cinematography is nothing extraordinary, but since the location is actually quite scenic, very beautiful, you can just keep looking at the frames. The character of George Hardy lives in a trailer, and around him there's a meadow, so you can just keep looking at it. It's really, really scenic and beautiful to look at. Overall, I would say it's a pretty entertaining film, mystery, comedy with unexpected drama, emotion, which actually caught me off guard and made me emotional, and probably will make you emotional too. If you haven't watched the film, definitely go and watch the film. If you like this type of films, then definitely go and watch the film. My rating for the film would be 4 out of 5 stars. If you have seen the film, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, like the video and share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.